This video is for you if you want to know how to be rich now and feel successful now, um, and how you can raise your vibration in the midst of adversity, turmoil, pain, and suffering. So, this message is very important for people who, like me, struggled, is struggling, is feeling the pain of, finances, or who is struggling with food. Maybe you're in a situation where you don't know how to raise your vibration, you don't know how to get out. So this video is for people that need to use these lessons and methods and techniques. Okay, so take that away. um, Let me share a story with you. Years ago, when I was not educated in the law of attraction and mindfulness and awareness and regulating my emotions and my subconscious mind and patterns and karmas, I was always habitually feeling negative and doubtful, not worthy. I was thinking lack. I had a victim mindset. I was always portraying the world a certain way and thinking of people a certain way and judging people, reading into things completely wrong, allowing outside circumstances to dictate how I felt inside, and I was portraying how I felt inside to dictate people around me. And I was very negative Nancy. So when things started to change for me and alter for me, I started to do techniques. So one thing that you can do is, well, let me get to that after I share this story. So when I started to do these techniques, I'll give you an example when I was doing it. So I was on food stamps. I was at the food bank, and with those feelings in the past, when I was younger, I remember being on food stamps and having to go to the food bank to get food, get groceries, because I wasn't making ends meet, and my partner at that time was pregnant, and I had a baby coming, and we needed to collect formula and milk, and we needed eggs. And so I would go there feeling, so this is the past, so when I was 17, 17ish, and I would feel low, and I would feel like weak inside and doubtful. I felt scared of the world. I felt scared of what was gonna come next and what's gonna happen to me. And I was thinking those thoughts, and I was feeling it really weighing down on my shoulders. What are we gonna do next month? Is this enough milk? They're only giving us a carton of 6. They're only giving us this, and it's gonna be past due in a couple days. Instead of being grateful for what I was receiving and feeling abundant and changing my vibrational energy and the love and those feelings I'll get to in a minute, I was feeling the lack, and I was judging. I'm like, they're not good enough. Why don't they do more? And I was negative. And that was my energy. My energy was very low and weak and, doubtful, and portraying toxic feelings out there. Okay, you get the point. So as years have gone by, life changes. You get into relationships, things improve, things get better. You're on a good track, and things happen. Hiccups do happen in this beautiful journey of life, where you leave work, or you get fired or laid off, or something happens, you're not making ends meet. And instead of feeling too proud, I went through the feelings of feeling too proud to receive help from government. And then, I just changed that feeling as well. So that was another technique to get off my high horse, because when people are giving, you have to become a good receiver. Sometimes in life, you have to be able to endeavor and grieve and feel those feelings and go through those journeys and overcome it. Do what you have to do until you could do what you truly want to do. So I ended up going on food bank again. And, my wife was dependent on milk. And of course, those days we were dependent on milk. All we did was drink milk. And we found out that if you're pregnant, you're eligible for 6 gallons of milk every couple weeks. And I was like, whoa, that would be good. So we go and we get eligible and we go to the food bank. And so in the midst of, I had a choice to feel low, weak, indifferent, like feeling, comparing myself to people and judgmental, or thinking I'm better, or even thinking I'm not good enough. I could have had any feelings, but this is what I did. I go to the food bank, and this was a different building in a different city now. And it was massive. It was like a warehouse. And it was in an industrial area, and it was a big building, and there's like hundreds and hundreds of cars. And obviously, each appointment, you have hundreds of people there for that time slot, and then there's another time slot a few hours later for another hundreds of people to come and get their food. But I was working on my vibration, and people perceived me as rich, as happy, as abundant and successful already. So people, they were like probably wondering, and even me, I was also wondering while I was doing it, like, why am I here? Or do I belong here? Am I better? Am I higher? Do I deserve this? Or should I just leave it for people who really need it? But we did really need it. But my vibration was so high that it perceived to be not lack. Like we were rich. We were already receiving abundance. And people perceived us as that, and we were treated like that. And when you raise your vibration and your standards and your value to love and harmony and joy and bliss in the midst of what you're going through, something truly remarkable starts to happen. We were given more food. Not that we needed it, but we were given more food. And what we did was we were given like 10 loaves of bread, 4 gallons of milk, more eggs, 2 10-pound bags of onions and potatoes, and so much that we gave back. We gave it back, and we gave to other families 10 boxes of cereal. So what we did was become a good giver, right? Be a good receiver, be a good giver. And we would give back to other families and say, we don't need this, and really surrender and release and feel good giving, And when we practiced doing that, it was even better, more humbling experience, and you feel more worthy and deserving. And then in life, you start to attract more situations, scenarios, circumstances for better. And instead of feeling, my dishwasher was breaking down, we had scratches on the wall, paint, and instead of thinking, oh, okay, when we move out here, the landlord is going to keep our damage deposit, this dishwasher is not serving me. You keep that level of vibration on a daily basis, and you give gratitude and appreciation to the things that you have that have served you. And when you give appreciation to the things that serve you, then you're truly giving thanks to the vibration. Everything is vibrating. Instead of feeling lack, like, oh, you're broken and I gotta replace this and my house is falling apart, you keep raising it higher and higher and higher. Hello.
Hey, Dad.
You want to sit down? You want to say something?
I want to play with my teddies.
Okay. Um, and another thing happens is, like I'm mentioning circumstances, we ended up having to move out. Okay. We went through a little bit of a struggle getting our damage deposit, but we did get it back. And then you maintain that vibration. And another thing happens is you go looking for different homes and you drive around the areas and you feel that same feeling, that bliss, that joy, that vibration. Then, long and behold, we looked at 5, 6 different places. Some were appeasing us, some weren't meeting our standards. But you can't settle. You have to raise your standards. Raise your standards of living so then life matches your standards of living. Don't always live paycheck to paycheck or settle and feel scared to buy things and always try to budget. Celebrate in advance. Buy the things that you feel you deserve in advance, all in conjunction with all of this work. And we ended up getting a home that we visualized, but it was the last house after people declined us and we declined everything. And we were getting to that last point, and the gateways open. Doors open when you don't see anything being closed. When you start to see things as being closed, then things will start closing for you. So you always have to have an opportunistic, optimistic mindset. Um, you know, this is the message that I wanted to give people, for anybody out there. There's a lot of work and exercise and practices and techniques and methods, that you have to apply, and if you understand this and start doing it, that's a great start. If you're advanced and there's other areas or there's other blockages, or even if you're not fully aware of some of the things I'm talking about and there's blockages in your life or in the way, yes, you have to work on settling those and releasing a lot of those blockages. And you have to forgive and let go and fix turmoils and past mistakes and karmas and cycles and enemies. There's a lot of other work that needs to be done, but you can still raise your vibration. You can still be happy while being in an unhappy situation. While you have pain, you can raise yourself out of that pain. You are divine, you are powerful. This is the same methods I used to heal my broken collarbone. I had bleeding in my brain. I had hemorrhaging in my brain. They had to drill a hole to take the blood out of my brain. I fractured my tibia. I have 2 bolts in my leg. All that pain and suffering, I was still saying, I'm healing this. I feel good and feel the feelings of bliss through the grievance of pain. It's a complicated catch-22 situation, but it's possible through practice and discipline. Okay? Have a blessed day. Thank you.